The last time we met actually was at the airport. I caught you just as you were coming in. What's changed in the country
Since then?
since then?
Wow. I was dazzled when I came. I had no idea that I'll be leading the government and how to make it happen. So since then, I'm trying to prioritize things as we come along. First one, of course, the law and order situation, which is a big task. We are coming from a complete disorder and uprising. People get shot, killed, dead.
What people have been saying to us is that they don't feel like it's been getting better, that it's actually been getting worse, that they're fearful of going out at night. Why is that still happening? Why isn't it getting better?
Well, better is a relative term to what we're comparing with. If you're comparing with the last year, for example, at the same time, it looks okay. We are not an ideal country, an ideal city that suddenly we made. It's a continuum of the country that we inherited, country that was running for many, many years. So it takes time to install that fear and install that discipline to make things happen. We take the collapsed country into order, into some discipline, some kind of policy, some kind of hope. This is what you're trying to do.
Do you think that that's actually happening?
I'm sure it's happening. It's if you go around, this is.
You
what
sure or
people-
you believe?
I believe that. Yes, sure. Which part you will compare? You want to compare the economy? Economy is much better. So you want to compare.
What I mean, if you want to talk about the economy, you see that inflation is almost at 10%. You see that interest rates are touching at 10%. Yet the decision by your government was to increase taxes on basic things like biscuits or cooking gas. You know, things that people need on a regular basis.
This is what we have inherited the country. The tax base for us is tiny little thing. Was one of the lowest tax base we have. So we want to see that we are a decent country. We are not living in a world that we have to borrow for our survival or something like that. We have enough capacity to produce those taxes. The moment you touch, everybody says, "Oh my God, we are taking away everything." So people always kind of protest against any kind of tax increase and so on. So that's where we are trying to build a real thing. Even if it's an unpleasant one, it's a real one.
I want to go back to law and order because you raised the issue of the previous government. When talking about members of the Awami League, right now, there is a sense that there is a political witch hunt happening, that the judiciary has been politicized, that they don't feel like they have the freedom to be able to speak.
Are you comparing with the previous one or just the ideal one?
Well, right now, you look at examples that, their homes of, members of the Awami League have been.
Do you like to compare it what happened before? Anytime? All the 16 years? So if you're comparing with the previous one, I understand. But if you're comparing with the ideal one, sorry, I don't understand.
Well, I'm just looking at the present time. In your time as chief advisor, so you're the head of Bangladesh, people within your own country are saying, look, I'm part of the Awami League, but I don't feel like I am safe to say that out loud. I see that the homes of Awami League supporters are being burned, are being vandalized.
So you're talking about the law and order situation?
I'm asking about whether A, is there law and order? Is enough being done to protect?
If there's a court, there's a law, there's a police station, they can go and complain, register their complaint. This is the way you just don't go to a BBC correspondent to complain. You go to the police station to complain and see through whether the law is taking its course.
When do you plan on having elections?
I made it very clear that if reforms can be done as quickly as we wish, December will be a time that we'll hold elections.
Will the Awami League be able to participate in those elections?
They have to decide whether they want to do it. I cannot decide for them.
Will you allow them to participate?
Who am I to allow them?
You're the head of this country.
Election Commission will do that. Election Commission decides who participates in election, who doesn't. It's not the Prime Minister who decides.
I want to move on to foreign aid. Bangladesh relies on foreign aid. The United States and the UK are both making significant cuts to their foreign aid budgets. How will Bangladesh make up the shortfall?
When it happens, we'll make it do what it is.
USAID has made it clear that they're pulling out.
It's a small part of it. It's not a big deal. It's their decision to do whatever it is. It doesn't shake it up. It will helpful because they are doing things which we wanted to get it done, like fighting corruptions and things like that.
How are you going to make up the shortfall?
Well,
Is
that
there a
doesn't
plan?
mean Bangladesh will disappear from the map. We'll have a new strategy how to survive, how to do it, how to continue. It doesn't mean that if one country decides not to give you
No, I understand that. I
grant
guess
and
I'm
foreign
asking,
aid.
what is the plan?
Plan is to rely on yourself, a self-reliance economy, that's all.
I want to ask about India, and it seems that relations with India are deteriorating. It seems like relations with Pakistan are improving. Is this the new foreign policy for Bangladesh?
We always insisted right from the day one, our relationship with India will be the best relationship ever. Because our fate and India's fate is tied together. We cannot isolate from each other. So we are always encouraging everything to happen in the best possible way. But somehow there's a kind of cloud around it. On certain issues like fake news, this Islamist group taking over the country, Yunus is a terrorist who's taken over the country. Those kind of things happen every day. That is not part of our relationship between India and Bangladesh. This is just destruction. We are distracted, the whole world is distracted from that. So that's what makes it uncomfortable. That doesn't mean our relationship with India has any impact on that. It's an excellent relationship, we continue to do it. They are a good business partner with us. They are our neighbors. Not only our neighbors, we are surrounded by them. So we cannot do anything without having a neighbor who surrounds you all around. And everything that we do, we have impact between two of us.